Gather around, folks, because it's time for a wild ride through the absolute circus that's currently unfolding in the grand theater of video games and beyond. We're talking about everything from entire government unions getting their jimmies rustled over extremism in video games, to consulting firms waving the magic wand of cancellation over anyone daring to step out of line. Oh, and let's not forget about the mastermind behind the whole sweet baby fiasco, doubling down like they're playing blackjack with a handful of twos. And for our cherry on top, the melodrama that's wrapped around Asmongold and the Dragon's Dogma 2 kerfuffle. First on our hit parade, we've got the Anti-Defamation League, or ADL, waving their magic wand, trying to convince the world that our dear video games are the new training grounds for the next legion of keyboard warriors. They're calling on Congress to take a peek into these digital playgrounds because, apparently, that's where the bad seeds are sprouting. Of course, this crusade conveniently picks up steam amidst what's being dubbed GamerGate 2.0, and just in time for the circus that is the U.S. presidential elections. Because why not? Every time there's a major event, these organizations pop up like mushrooms after a rainstorm, trying to rain on everyone's parade. And what's the ADL's game plan? Clamp down on every digital nook and cranny, from forums to in-game chats, because, according to them, every gamer is now a suspect in their grand conspiracy theory. They're looking at you, average Joe gamer, and branding you as the villain in their narrative. And if you think about it, if talking about these nutty stories makes someone like me a problematic influencer, then I guess we're all in trouble. But here's the kicker. The community isn't having any of it. A shiny disclaimer slapped onto their Twitter tirade basically calls BS on the whole radicalization through gaming spiel. Most folks are just trying to unwind, not plot the downfall of civilization as we know it. Moving on, we dive into the murky waters of the sweet baby disaster and how this is supposedly all our fault. Because, anything that goes wrong in the world obviously starts and ends with video games, right? These organizations are painting a target on the back of every gamer, labeling us as unwitting pawns in their grand scheme to save humanity from itself. And if you happen to talk about it, congrats, you're now a radical influencer. Welcome to the club. Now, let's waltz over to the GDC, Game Developers Conference, where all the magic happens. Or, more accurately, where some attempt to sprinkle their progressive fairy dust all over the industry. We've got all sorts vying for the spotlight, from the knights of social justice to those peddling their diversity potions. It's a grand old party where the drink of choice is a blend of overreaction and virtue signaling. The real showstopper? How these calamities are actually fueling the very monsters they're pretending to fight. Consulting groups like Sweet Baby are getting a free ride on the Outrage Express, painting themselves as martyrs in a battle they've concocted from thin air. It's a twisted game where they cry wolf and then sell you the wolf repellent. But don't you worry, dear viewer, because the truth is, this whole charade is built on a house of cards. The gaming industry, much like any other, can't survive without its audience. And that's where you come in. You have the power, the ultimate say in what flies and what dies in the world of gaming. Remember, these studios, these publishers, they work for you, not the other way around. Let's circle back to our guiding principles. Ethics in game journalism and keep politics out of our games, merging the core of GG's mantra with the golden rule of gaming. The mission? To ensure transparency, integrity, and fairness in game journalism, all while safeguarding our digital realms from becoming battlegrounds for real-world politics. After all, at the heart of every controller, keyboard, and touchscreen lies the quest for escapism, adventure, and the pure, unbridled joy of gaming. So, fellow gamers, arm yourselves with popcorn and gear up for an epic journey, because the path ahead promises twists, turns, and exhilarating quests. As we navigate this saga, let's revel in the camaraderie, challenges, and victories that video games offer. Remember, in the pixelated tapestry of this vast gaming universe, it's all about the love of the game. Let's champion ethics, embrace fun, and celebrate the worlds we love to get lost in, reminding ourselves that, in the end, it's just games.